talk a lot about the core politicals, talking a lot about who these core politicals are, but who are the core politicals other than the multinational corporations? Who's in charge of them? Well, it's easy to discover who's in charge of them. All you got to do is follow the money. And when you follow the money, where do you always wind up? The banks. The banks have all the power, which is kind of funny because the banks shouldn't actually have any money. This was an institution designed to protect your money. This is what banks are for. This is how banks came into being. Yet suddenly they're now the ultimate power in the universe. How did that happen? The way that happened was by the bank's greatest weapon, and they wield this weapon in modern media like no other weapon or no other tactic at their disposal. That is debt. They will try their hardest to drive you as far into debt as they possibly can. The way they do this is by creating wants, creating needs, creating the need for status, buying things you can't afford to impress people you don't even like. They make you think that in order to get laid, you need to drive a certain kind of car. They make you think that in order to be beautiful, you have to smear your face with chemicals. This is what they teach us. They teach us this through the media. They teach us this in the general society. They teach us this in every way they communicate with us. But the way we can avoid all of it, the way we can avoid the pressure, is to avoid debt. And you think to yourself, well, you can't exist in today's society without going into debt. Yes, you can. It's hard, but you can do it. As a WOG, your #1 goal should be to get out of debt, or at least get out of recorded debt. If you can eliminate your records of debt, oh, by all means, I would use any means necessary to eliminate any and all records of debt that you possess. The quickest and easiest way to do this, of course, is to simply pay them off, which means you need money, which means you need to work, because as we all know, if you can't pay your debt, well, then you're a thief, and then you're a terrorist, and then you go to jail, and you wind up locked down somewhere in some slave camp building computers for Dell. So the banks, realistically, are the ones in control, and the way they maintain control is by maintaining a massive debt load upon the populace. This is why they are the robber barons. We can make them powerless, and you can do that by just not going in debt.